What's your fantastic game of this? And welcome back to another video where we talk about the summer that the summer that Hikaru realized that he had psychosis. Because this is crazy. Okay, so spoilers ahead. I'm sure you already know. So again, this is a review of episode 10. So previously in the last episode, Yoshiki and Hikaru are having a conversation with the old man. I believe his name was Old Man Takeda. And they were like talking about the events that happened on the mountain. And the curse of is it Endo family? Yeah. And this episode 10, titled Truth, we begin the episode with Hikaru waking up in the hospital, with his head now back on. Because in the previous episode, the character Tanaka with the blonde hair and markings sliced Hikaru's head off, sliced his neck off. So we're back with the old woman, Yoshiki and Hikaru inside the hospital room. And my question still stands. In every single video that I make, these events are not possibly making human sense. Like, where's Hikaru's parents? Where's the rest of the town? Like, no students came to come visit him in the hospital. Like, how did they just keep all this under wraps? Like, I find that hard to believe. Which was one of the things that they mentioned in the story, that they was keeping it under wraps. So I really like this parental figure, this older woman, who was kind of guiding Yoshiki and Hikaru in this journey to discover what Hikaru truly is. And I feel like I can't let go of this toxic relationship until Hikaru does something unforgivable to Yoshiki, which is unfortunate. Because I really ship them bad. And it's canon, of course. So Yoshiki and Hikaru were having banter back and forth while they're in the hospital. And Hikaru is making a joke about popping his head back off, which he really doesn't understand death and life, I guess. So we know that Hikaru has weakened himself for Yoshiki by giving him a piece of his body. So Yoshiki asks, is this line going to be around your neck forever, or is it going to heal? So that led to the joke about popping his head off, anytime or whatnot. But Hikaru does have a sense of pain this time. So everything progresses as normal. And I believe Yoshiki and Hikaru return back to school. And they're having discussions about still discovering Nonuki-sama and the truth behind the Endo family's curse. Because Yoshiki and Hikaru want to be together. Which is so cute. So they gather around with all their friends. And they're like, what you want to know about Nonuki-sama? So one of the side characters come along, right? And so one of the side characters' brothers is involved in so Yoshiki, who is so eager to solve this case, obsessively is telling him, this classmate, text your brother right now. And the side character is like, oh my gosh, calm down. Okay, we'll get it handled. Why do you even want to know about Nonuki-sama so much? And so the same question is being played over and over again. And I think the developers, animators, writers, creators, they want us to be questioning ourselves, if our best friend died and a monster came back inside of them, would we be okay with that? Would we be able to live with them? And the characters are all together. They're just sitting I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to live with a monster. But good thing we don't have to go through that. That's what they slid in. Good thing we don't have to go through that. And the girl that Hikaru almost killed, I believe she's deaf now. She was weird. She was because she knows in the back of her mind what happened to her. She knows Hikaru is not normal. But let me back up a little bit, because this is where the story gets really interesting. So they finally start to break down the truth behind the Endo family's curse. So it seems there used to be 5 villages, I want to say, that made up one big community. And they all believed in Nonuki-sama, because there was a real bad plague that made people fall sick, and all the villages were dying. So they prayed to Nonuki-sama that he would take away the illness and people would be able to thrive. So long story short, all the villages started to make sacrifices. Some villages did legs, some villages did arms, some villages did torsos. But all in all, they made up a human body. So the village that Hikaru and Yoshiki is from, the sacrifices that they did were heads. So a little bit of foreshadowing from previous episodes where they showed this tool that Tanaka was carrying around, this headpiece that was inside the Endo family shrine, which is now missing. So after Yoshiki and Hikaru gather the information from the side character's brother about Nonuki-sama, they go to Hikaru's family shrine because they want to know about the curse. But conveniently, Hikaru doesn't remember everything about the tradition or know everything or why they started sacrificing heads. Well, technically they do know, it's for the preservation of their village. Their village still being one of the villages that still praise and worship Nonuki-sama. All the other villages have moved on because their plagues and things doesn't bother them anymore. So for example, they have the opportunity to worship other gods. So that means they have other religions, which means it can possibly be Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, all those other things. But it's important to note that Hikaru and Yoshiki's village still practice no Nuki-sama. But I think it's something important to note that in the middle of the episode, they bring up something that's very weird. And it was Hikaru coming by Yoshiki's house late at night because the monster or Nonuki-sama, whatever that is possessing Hikaru, wanted to devour the village. And to me, what better meal than to start off with your man? So he was saying that his body felt cold, but he needed something warm to fill the void inside, which was going to be Yoshiki's lifeless body. But the power of love came through, okay? That's the only way that I can describe it. Hikaru's inner love was like, no, I cannot eat my man. Not in that way tonight, honey. So he turned away and walked away. But we didn't know that until the end of the episode. So that makes me question, like, is Hikaru going to eventually consume Yoshiki and the rest of the village? Like, we don't know. And also, to close out the episode, they left us on another cliffhanger with not knowing the Endo family's complete secret and how they got involved in sacrificing heads to please Nonuki-sama. So they introduced Yoshiki's dad and Hikaru's dad in previous episodes, right? And there's been a lot of discourse about Yoshiki and his father's relationship, seeming that his father can be a little cold. But he's the only one that knows Hikaru's father the best, which is the only way that they can really solve the mystery of the Endo family's curse. So Shimtastic Gang, I hope that you loved my review. I hope that you watched the episode yourself. Let me know in the comments below what you feel about this episode. Most importantly, if your best friend passed away and that was your secret love and y'all know y'all loved each other and wanted to eventually move away together, because Hikaru did say he wanted to be like the side character's brother and like move away and go to school, which is college in Tokyo. So would you stay and try to save your cursed lover, or would you go on and live your life and just leave your town in the past? Let me know below. Okay, we have reached the end of the video. I make new videos like this every time a new episode comes out. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, okay? Share this video with your mom, your daddy, your uncle, your auntie. And I will see you on Thursday for the last episode of Season 2 of Don to Don, okay? Let's go.